reality, my mentality. Everything changes so rapidly, and I'm ready for the never-ending fire. Dancing with my deepest, dark desires. Miracle, how empirical. Don't know anything quite as hysterical. Everything around me transpires as I fulfill my darkest desire.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Impulse7 here, and today I'm bringing a video, and in this video, we're going to be talking about huge Fnaf movie news, and it also actually includes some lore, some confirmation in some of the screenplays. Don't mind that. VR Toy Bonnie. Yeah, let's just not talk about that right now. Anyway, so this was posted by Scott. Bad news about the Fnaf movie. Hi everyone, before we get to the bad news concerning the state of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I wanted to share a brief history of the Fnaf screenplay. It's been a long road, so let's take a look at some of the screenplays that have come and gone over the years in no particular order. Or feel free to skip to the end really quick to see the bad news, and then come back and enjoy the list. Some of these came from big studios, some from big directors, some from me, and some from other hired writers. I gave the screenplays a name, and I'll include a brief synopsis as well as what ultimately led to each screenplay being rejected. Let's get started. Okay, so bad news, are you sure? Well, we'll see. So I've already seen all these, but I'm just going to be reviewing all these for you. The F screenplay. Basic setup: a group of teenage troublemakers break into Freddy's. Chaos ensues. Probably like the Fnaf 4 bullies or whatever. Problems. Although a pretty basic setup, there were a lot of odd choices here, which only got weirder as the story continued. The story ended with our protagonists in a secret underground animatronic factory that was designing robots for the government. Verdict: what the freaking cracker? Strayed way too far from the source material. Tossed. Well, that one's funny. I think that would have been based on like the Fnaf 4 bullies and sister location. But yeah, okay, the F screenplay. Okay, next, the Plushies Take Manhattan screenplay. Basic setup: plushies take Manhattan. Problems: plushies took Manhattan. Verdict: burned with fire. Okay, I wonder if that's supposed to be, I wonder if that choice of words, I wonder if that's supposed to be like a connection back to the FNAF 3 fire or FNAF 6 fire. Who knows? No, probably not. But just a thought. Okay, so next, the Random Charlie screenplay. Basic setup: Charlie and friends sneak into Freddy's after hours to retrieve a lost toy. Problems: although sharing the names of familiar characters from the series, these characters had nothing to do with their game and book counterparts. So while featuring familiar elements of the games, it seemed too loosely based on the game and lost a lot of its impact because of it. Verdict: felt like a random bag of FNAF elements with no real stakes. Meh. I mean, I feel like that wouldn't have been too bad, but like for a FNAF movie that's been being worked on for years and years, I feel like that would have been a little bit disappointing, to be honest. But it's still a FNAF movie, so I'd still probably love it. But yeah. Okay, next, the Silver Eye screenplays. Basic setup: Kira and I both worked on 3 versions of a Silver Eye screenplay over the course of about a year, trying to find the right approach to the story from the first book. Kira, hold on. Is that the writer of the Silver Eyes? It might be. Yeah, Kira Breed Risley, something like that. Kira. Okay, well, I guess, yeah. So he got her help. Problems: these were the first attempts I made myself to write a screenplay after realizing it was going to be difficult to find someone else who understood the lore well enough to do it. Unfortunately, it also meant the screenplays suffered greatly from my inexperience at writing. Even Kira, with her writing expertise, couldn't save them. Verdict: although these had some good elements, I ultimately decided to focus on making a screenplay from the games and not from the books. So I guess, I mean, that wouldn't have been bad. Honestly, the books I feel like would work pretty well as movies, but like I said in the last one, I feel like it might have been a little bit disappointing for a FNAF movie that's been hyped up since 2015. So yeah, I still probably would like it though. Probably just not as good as it could have been. So yeah, that's why I guess it shows another one. Also, Scott in his interview said with Daco said that he would end up that he wanted to do a book movie, but wanted to do the games. So yeah, let's go to the next one. The Pawn Shop Screenplay. Okay. Basic setup: a kid who watches after a pawn shop finds trouble when an animatronic is brought in. It turns out Freddy's had been robbed and the other animatronics were taken to different locations for sale. The other animatronics come to retrieve the one at the pawn shop, and the kid and his friends get roped into adventure. Problems: a creative approach, but felt a little too much like A Boy and His Animatronic. Too much after-school adventure, not enough horror. Verdict: seemed like a good idea at the time. I feel like that would have been pretty cool, but like the last two, it probably wouldn't have been satisfying for a FNAF movie. I feel like that could have been like connected to one of the characters from the games. Maybe even the Crying Child, but probably not. Maybe Foxy Bro, like A Boy and His Animatronic. Like how Foxy Bro really likes Foxy, and like Pete and Step Closer, and like how he actually used Foxy, like the actual animatronic, to scare his little brother. Maybe that could be what it was supposed to be based on, or something like that, but I don't know. It could have been something completely different. Or maybe even Crying Child with Fredbear plushie. I don't know. So let's go to the next one. The Cassidy Screenplay. Okay, this is when it starts giving a little bit of lore. Basic setup: diving deep, this screenplay actually packed in a lot of lore following the story of Cassidy. Okay, so one already, following the story of Cassidy. If Cassidy is important enough to have a movie about her considered, then yes, Cassidy has to be a really important character. And so basically confirming it's a really important character, which we already knew. Problems: spanning multiple time periods, following multiple characters, and featuring lore from multiple games. This was pretty saturated to a fault. It may have been satisfying to the most hardcore fans, but it would have left the majority of people confused and lost. Hey, wait, maybe this was the most accurate screenplay. Okay, multiple games, lore from multiple games, and following multiple characters, spanning multiple time periods. Yes, this basically confirms that Cassidy is at least part of Golden Freddy, which was already confirmed with with Scott's reaction to Markiplier FNAF merch. When Markiplier wanted to make something about like Cassidy Gold, something like that, and then Scott was like, "Oh, I don't want lore to be given away in merch," which like Cassidy Gold, like Cassidy in Golden Freddy. So Scott saying he doesn't want lore given away, then that means that was basically means that was correct. So yeah, ultimately more of a visual encyclopedia than a movie. This just wasn't satisfying even to me. Out. Okay. Next, The Misfit Kid. Already this kind of sounds like Crying Child. I'm just gonna say that. A single mom brings her kid into a new town. Kid finds Freddy's. Hilarity ensues. Hello, whatever. Problems. One of the problems in creating a modern day story with an old Freddy's setting is finding a way to connect the protagonists to the restaurant, finding a reason for them to be there, and finding a reason for them to stay. The problem here was that the reason for this kid to go to Freddy's and have misadventures was too contrived and too forced. Verdict: not a bad setup, but it just didn't work. If I don't care about the characters, then there's a good chance no one else will either. Pass. Okay. This was going to be the screenplay for a while because it didn't have any serious flaws. I ultimately just decided it wasn't good enough, though. Okay. I would say that could have been based on The Crying Child, but that's a family of 3, and it just says mom brings her kid, just not kids. So yeah, it can't be that. Next, the Insane Screenplay. Okay, basic setup, another Ghost Tracker variation. This one involved the Funtime animatronics, underground ball pit tunnels, and a marionette out for revenge. So, sister location, into the pit, and just the puppet in general, I guess. Basically FNAF 2. Okay. As some other screenplays ventured too far into adventure, this one went too far into action. Okay. Alright, verdict, too all over the place with too many characters doing too many things. Alright. Okay, let's just go to the next one. Okay, this is the final one. This is where a lot of lore is given away. Stuff that a lot of people already assumed, but some people still didn't believe for some odd reason. But yeah, basically it's now confirmed. The Mike screenplay. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit, honestly. I think that would be just make more sense. Basic setup. This makes sense. Why didn't I think of this before? Problems. Actually, this is a good mix. It has the best pieces from all the previous screenplays. Not really any problems here. All the right characters, all the right motivations, all the right stakes. Verdict, yeah, we're going with this one. It's fun, it's scary, and has a great central story. Alright, so on to the bad news. The bad news is that there won't be any more screenplays in this list since we're officially making... any more screenplays to add to the list. Since we're officially making the Mike screenplay. Filming starts in spring of 2021. Okay, now you might be wondering, how is this giving away lore? It's just like Mike Afton, stuff. But in Scott's interview with Daco, Scott confirmed that the FNAF movie would mostly be based on FNAF 1. So, if this is the Mike screenplay, and it's talking about all the right characters, all the right motivations, all the right stakes, it must be confirming that Mike is who we play as in FNAF 1, that Michael Afton, is the one we play as in FNAF 1. All the right characters, maybe it has something to do with the... with more than just the FNAF 1 animatronics, maybe the Fun Times, maybe even Springtrap. I feel like that might be too far outside. But all the right motivations, in this we would probably learn whether Michael is Foxy Bro or Crying Child. I really think it's Foxy Bro at this point, but I know some people still think it's Crying Child, so yeah. But we would probably get a confirmed answer in this. All the right motivations. That kind of makes me think that it's supposed to be Mike is trying to fix his father's mistakes after he made one of his own. I feel like that's what it's trying to say there. He made one of his own, Crying Child death. Crying Child's death. All the right stakes. So, yeah, I really think this is going to be about Michael Afton / Mike Schmidt in FNAF 1, a.k.a. Foxy Bro. That's what I think it's trying to tell us here. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video. And if you like my other videos, please do consider subscribing. Remember to subscribe to Chicken Dude 27, Parsa Davari, Dudes L, Brub, SFM, and Glitchbear 87. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Impulse 7 out. Peace. I'm so excited for the movie. It's probably not coming out for another year or two, but yeah. Well, at least a year, I'd say. But yeah, okay. Okay, bye guys. Bye. I'm so excited. Bye.